Now this, Nigel Farage, the leader of the Reform Party in the United Kingdom, has resigned as a member of Congress. He says he's stepping back now, but will run again in a special election. Nile Gardiner joins me now. Nile, first of all, with Nigel, I mean, he's well known, of course, not only in Britain, but also by a lot of people here in the United States. What's behind his move?
Well, thanks for having me on the show today, David. And in fact, I just saw Nigel Farage on Friday evening here in Washington, D.C. Okay. And I do think that, one day Nigel Farage will be Prime Minister, but there is a huge effort, of course, by the Liberal establishment in the United Kingdom to prevent him from being the future PM. And I would say that, Farage is facing the same kind of nefarious campaign that Donald Trump faced previously, actually, by the establishment. And I expect ultimately Nigel Farage will prevail. But he has stood down, actually, as a member of Parliament. He will be fighting a by-election campaign in a few weeks, seeking to re-enter Parliament. And this follows a sustained, campaign to undermine Farage, and I would say it's a nefarious sort of political campaign to undermine Farage. This is why he's resigned as an MP, and he's seeking a re-election, letting the British people decide, really, about his political future.
The Reform Party, I did a little brief checking in back of the book, checking on percentages. And Reform Party, I understand, of the three parties, Reform, Conservative, and Labour, is now #1, but barely so. It's about 25% of the voters. Conservatives are anywhere from 20 to 25, and Labour is about 20 to 25. Have I got that right? I mean, Reform is #1, but it's close. Whoever wins is going to need members of the other party. Can he get Conservatives to support him?
Yeah, so Reform is the leading party in the polls right now, on average between 25 and 30 percentage points. I expect the next UK general election will be held in 2028 or even 2029. So the Labour Party will still be in power for the next couple of years. But the polls do indicate that Reform will be the biggest party. Farage then would be the Prime Minister, but he may need to rely upon the support of the Conservative Party as part of a coalition government if he doesn't win outright. But if you combine the Reform and Conservative Party votes, it's around 50% of the British people compared to around 20% support for the Socialists right now. So the right would win big in a general election, which is why the sinking socialist government will not hold a general election.
Is there any doubt,
in the next year
Nigel,
or so.
Niall, that in fact the immigration policies that we've seen over the past few years, the energy policies that have caused them to pay 4 times what we pay for energy here in the United States, and a whole slew of taxes, that not to mention the socialist healthcare system, which is fraught with all kinds of problems, it makes the current policy scheme unattainable?
Yeah, I think that, the Labour government, of course, headed by Keir Starmer, who's on the way out, this is the most unpopular British government in many, many decades. And the British people have had enough of open borders, mass migration policies, huge levels of illegal migration as well, but also soaring energy prices. There's a big backlash against the far left-wing net zero policies of the socialist government. The socialists, frankly, are doing their best to destroy Britain. Britain's in a real serious state of crisis on so many fronts, and the British people want change. But the Labour government, the socialist government, refuses, of course, to hold a general election, even though Keir Starmer is stepping down and he's likely to be replaced by Andy Burnham, the former mayor of Manchester. But the Labour government will not hold a general election. They're operating like a dictatorship, frankly, this Labour government. Keir Starmer and his government are hugely unpopular.
Very quickly, I want to look at Europe as a whole, because the president in Europe now is ripping into our allies for not joining his fight against Iran. How does Europe fix its relationship with Trump?
Well, I think European allies have to be absolutely serious about increasing their defence spending. They made these pledges last year, actually, in The Hague at the NATO summit. Unfortunately, we have some NATO so-called allies like Spain, headed by Sanchez, who's a far-left communist-style leader. Some NATO allies are not actually pulling their weight, and this is why President Trump, I think, is very upset. Also, of course, the vast majority of NATO allies did not support the U.S. military action against Iran, and so this is hugely disappointing at a time when President Trump's calling for an increase in U.S. defense spending to $1.5 trillion. But there are, so many European countries who simply do not pull their weight, while also criticizing the United States for its perfectly legitimate military action against the brutal and barbaric Islamist dictatorship in Tehran. And so President Trump certainly expressed very strong dissatisfaction with some NATO partners, especially the Spanish, who have been absolutely awful, frankly.
Yeah, well, and Sanchez is very unpopular at home as well. So Trump's comments might be the final kick that gets him out of the door. Nile Gardiner, great to see you, Nile. Thank you. Appreciate
My pleasure.
you coming in.
Many thanks.